but instead it goes to offshore corporations and Fortune 100. And now our researchers have discovered, Lloyd Chapman has discovered, that they have a secret blacklist of American small businesses. And so we hear all this talk of small businesses, but we see insider Democrats giving, $500 billion free cash of taxpayers, but none of it goes to build jack squat. It is a total hand-over-fist looting. And I wanted to get you on in the perspective of the Occupy Wall Street. We got a bunch of kids funded by George Soros and Obama saying tax the middle class and shut down capitalism. That's exactly what the big monopoly men want, Lloyd.
Absolutely. People need to realize that our government runs on contributions from Fortune 500 firms, and the K Street lobbyists run on contributions from Fortune 500 firms. Our Congress, our government, our president, they do not pass legislation to benefit the people. They pass legislation to benefit the people that fund their campaigns, like Goldman Sachs and J.P. Morgan. I love to see those kids protesting Wall Street. Hope they stay down there for a year. There needs to be 1 million people on Wall Street.
I agree with you, but the main demands that at least the media gives attention to, the dominant whore media, is increased taxes on the rich, but the Warren Buffett plan goes after the middle class, not the exempt offshore corporations. And they're calling for Michael Moore and others are dressing up like Mao Zedong, running around saying off with their heads. This is being Democratic Party run. They're trying to co-opt the opposition.
Yeah, it's funny. Something occurred to me the other day. I'm sure this occurred to you like 5 years ago. But the very Fortune 500 firms that control our government also are the ones that run what percentage of the ads on national television? 95%?
Yeah.
So it's hard to get the truth on national television because those are the same guys, that are making all the major contributions. But people wouldn't believe how corrupt the government is. People just wouldn't believe it. And the things they're doing to the public are just, my biggest problem is when I talk to a journalist and I tell them, I'll just read a report from an inspector general, and they can't believe it. They can't believe it. So I'll actually just read a report from the inspector general, and I'll be labeled a conspiracy nut and a lunatic for just reading what an inspector general said.
Oh, yeah, the CIA inspector general in 1997 found the CIA was running most of the narcotics into the country through licensed cartels. And if I talk about that today and even play the clips, I'm a conspiracy theorist for showing the CIA admitting it.
Yeah, the government spends a lot of time and money trying to convince people I'm a conspiracy nut. In fact, to tell you the truth, Alex, I've had 6 national television appearances canceled in the last 60 days. And I've called my staff to call these, the last one was the Lou Dobbs show. And I said, call them up and ask them, how did the government know I was supposed to be on your show? So when you got a phone call from some government PR guy and said, don't put Lloyd on your show, he's a conspiracy nut, he's a lunatic. How did they know I was going to be on your show? Did you call them up and tell them? I didn't. How did they know? And, but yeah, they do not want people like you and me, telling what's going on. You mentioned Eric Holder, by the way. So anybody that's ever heard my name knows that for 20 years I've been winning lawsuits against the government and exposing hundreds of billions in fraud and abuse, right? Eric Holder is my number one enemy. So if I'm trying to get information on billions in fraud, I'm up against that guy and the Justice Department. And they've done everything they can to withhold information that proves that companies like Fin Mechanica in Rome, with 75,000 employees and $30 billion in assets, are getting $250 million a year in federal small business contracts. Eric Holder will stand in the door and not let you get that information.
Well, Eric Holder has been caught perjuring himself. In public speeches, he slipped up and admitted their Fast and Furious thing. Then he said he'd never heard of it. Now it's been confirmed in Congress. It went all the way into the White House. But again, the Republicans can't really go after it because the gun running was going on under Bush, too. That's the big, dirty secret. If you read the Sinaloa drug documents in federal court, they were authorized 5.5 years ago to do this. This predates Obama. He expanded it and then also used it to demonize the Second Amendment. So he went further. But this is systemic, rotten corruption. For those that don't understand, explain to them the federal law. that if you're going to have all this government contracts, then it's got to go to small businesses. But that's not what they do.
No. So think about this, people. It's been shown by the Census Bureau and groups like the Kauffman Foundation that small businesses create between 90 and 100% of all net new jobs. 100%. Federal law for about 55 years has said that a minimum of 23% of all government contracts should go to small businesses. Well, that makes perfect sense, particularly now since they create 100% of the jobs. And there's been 15 federal investigations, not Lloyd Chapman, the conspiracy nut lunatic. The SBA Inspector General said this in 2005, quote, "One of the largest challenges facing the Small Business Administration and the entire federal government today is that large businesses are getting federal small business contract awards." And that's been named for 6 consecutive years. The SBA Inspector General has named that as the #1 challenge. So here we are. The whole nation's going bankrupt. We're trying to create jobs. Small businesses create 100% of the jobs, and over 95% of all federal spending goes to Fortune 500 firms, which conversely, let's figure this out. If small businesses are creating 100% of the net new jobs, how many jobs are Fortune 500 corporations creating? The truth is Fortune 500 firms haven't created one job in 30 years, one net new job, and yet 90 to 95% of our tax dollars go to those corporations.
Well, even Dennis Kucinich said this. This should be one of the Occupy Wall Street groups, that just like in China or India, their government contracts have to be domestic. They don't deindustrialize. They're trying to industrialize. And even Dennis Kucinich came out a month ago and said the head of the President's Economic Council, the former head of General Electric, is only creating jobs in India and China. They're moving with the bailout money, the factories, the X-ray systems, everything out of the nation. It is the policy to deindustrialize this country to bring us to our knees. That is what globalism is.
Absolutely. What's shocking to me, I don't know this for a fact, somebody told me that the president of General Electric, the company who's shipping more jobs overseas than any other company, sat next to Michelle Obama when the president gave his job speech.
No, he did. No. He comes out and lectures about American jobs while they're shutting down hundreds of power plants, because if General Electric doesn't own it, or if you switch over to their service company that will upkeep your power plant and all of its scrubbers, then you get the magic wand. It's literally the mafia. It's hire my cousin Luigi, General Electric here, or you're shut down. I mean, they're that naked. I mean, these are hardcore crooks.
Absolutely. Here's something I want people to know. President Obama gave his job speech on Thursday. The first African-American president in history. Listen to this, folks. Friday afternoon, around 4 o'clock in D.C., the Obama administration very quietly, and got zero press on it, released a policy to abolish the oldest and most successful federal program to direct infrastructure spending to minority-owned companies, the 5% contract to go for minorities. So under the first black president and the first African-American attorney general, they are abolishing the oldest and most successful program to create jobs in minority communities coast to coast. It was completely and totally unreported on. Nobody knows. It wasn't picked up anywhere in the media. I've had my guys on the phone for 3 weeks telling people about it. And, gosh, another bill popped up the other day. Sarah McCaskill popped up with a bill the other day that could potentially put around 500,000 small businesses in bankruptcy to work with the federal government. It's shocking. Again, it's so different than what people think it is that it's just hard to believe. People say, well, that can't be true. That just can't be true. It's true.
Well, look, the globalists went in the 70s, and they publicly told China, let select corporations use your slave labor, and we're going to move here. And so these very same multinational corporations get laws passed and regulations to shut down regular commerce so they can move everything to China and India and Mexico. And they've done it. And they're not going to stop. And because they want us poor. I mean, there's so many globalist documents we've read on air where they say they want you so poor, you're busy just trying to get enough money to buy food so that you're not uppity. They know people that are middle class become politically active. And they're getting rid of, they're ending America as we know it. They're ending the American dream.
Absolutely. I want people to remember 3 things that Thomas Jefferson said. He said, every generation needs a new revolution. He said, all tyranny needs to gain a foothold for people of good conscience to remain silent. And my favorite phrase that should get the FBI knocking on my door, he said that the tree of liberty needs to be watered from time to time with the blood of patriots and tyrants. He's my kind of guy.
Now you've got hundreds of thousands of small businesses as members. Are they starting to get more and more angry?
You know what? They're angry, but they're afraid. I'll have to tell you that small businesses are afraid. They're just afraid. They're afraid. You know, the government is they're terrified of the government.
And that is why they fail. Government is gang raping us for their banker masters because we've been over. And it's time to stop acting like it. It's only encouraging. Folks, your cowardice is what is encouraging all this. It's what is allowing this. It's what's bringing it. There are limitless ways to go into business for yourself, but most involve substantial capital and risk. Our InfoWarsTeam.com operation is different. We promote premium quality health, energy, and skincare products using dynamic, caring personalities and state-of-the-art media technology to spread a powerful message of health, wealth, longevity, and freedom. This low-cost business opportunity is designed for full-time or part-time, so you can work as little or as much as you'd like. It is you that defines the reward level. Whether you are seeking a few $100 extra per month or a 6 or even 7-figure annual income, it's up to you. Want to find out more? Shoot an email with InfoWars Team in the subject line to InfoWars Team Coordinator MZ and tell him a little bit about yourself. That's the initials MZ at InfoWarsTeam.com. That's MZ at InfoWarsTeam.com. I only promote products that I truly believe in, and these are phenomenal. Whatever you do, visit InfoWarsTeam.com.
Big Berkey water filters are in high demand. Storable foods are also in high demand. BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com has always kept our focus on the Berkey water filter products. But increasingly, our customers have been asking for storable foods. After months of research, BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com now offers great tasting, long-lasting, storable foods. These ready-to-eat meals are packed in airtight nitrogen pouches. All you do is just add water. And because they're sealed so well, they come with a 25-year shelf life. Combine our Berkey water filters, which are powerful enough to purify treated, untreated, or even stagnant pond water with our storable foods, and you have a winning combination. Remember, we offer free shipping on every order over $50, and GCN listeners receive 5% off all ceramic filter systems. Visit BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com or call 877-99-BERKEY. That's BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com or call 877-99-BERKEY today.
Hi, I'm Mark Craighead, founder of Crossbreed Holsters. I designed our top-selling holster, the Super Tuck Deluxe, to solve the problems of being poked, pinched, and gouged while carrying concealed. The Super Tuck Deluxe is the most comfortable, most concealable holster on the market today. We offer a 2-week free trial and a lifetime warranty.
Visit us at crossbreedholsters.com. Don't forget, crossbreedholsters.com.
Question: when the next disaster strikes, will you be ready? Answer: yes. If you have top quality survival gear from thesurvivalzone.com. These days it's wise to keep a survival kit in your vehicle, home, and office. Thesurvivalzone.com specializes in ready-to-go wilderness, 72-hour, and compact survival kits, plus freeze-dried and dehydrated food, MREs, stun guns, non-hybrid seeds, and much more. Call 603-838-5933 to be prepared with thesurvivalzone.com.
Folks, we're not going to have time to play the clips of what Hank Williams Jr. really said. He said the whole Congress is criminal. 89% of the American people, want them all fired. It's actually 91% now. They only have a 9% approval rating. That's all coming up this evening. Got something special for you on the Nightly News, 7 o'clock. I'm going to do 5 minutes of overdrive here to take at least some of the calls that have been holding the longest here. But just finishing up with the point that you were making in close.